have to trust the data, because ultimately it's not your judgment that really matters. It's your target market or your ideal clients that you're trying to bring into your law firm. It's their judgment and their decisions that should drive your marketing efforts. Now, I know this not only from my personal experience, but I want to tell you a story when we were trying to put up a landing page at one point, and we were debating all the issues. Do you do video? Do you use an image? What kind of colors? We had a brand color scheme that, if you've watched any of our videos, and as you can see even from this video, we have a brand color scheme. So that wasn't the problem. But figuring out, do we use a video? How do we lay it out? A lot of these decisions that, were hard to make, but we ended up having to make a decision and going with it. But the thing that we did was what's called split testing. And on this Tactical Tuesday, I want to show you a tool that you can use, which is split testing, where you're basically testing, A versus B, and you have two versions of, let's say, a landing page, where if you have a decision on the color scheme, or you have a decision on whether to use a video or not use a video, you can test these things against one another and let your ideal clients tell you which ones they like better. And that's ultimately what you want. You want what's good for your client is going to ultimately be good for you. So in this Tactical Tuesday, I'm going to show you, because in this example that I was talking about, the one that we all thought was never going to fly and was not going to work actually ended up being the better option. So if we had gone with our judgment and only put up one landing page and not tested it against another version, we would have been totally off. We would have had worse conversion rates, not as many sales, and it would have been potentially devastating for our business. And that's why I always tell attorneys, don't worry about your own judgment, because your judgment is not what matters. You have to rely on the judgment of the people who you're marketing to, and take their input and give them, like I said, split tests. Give them two different versions of something, and you can test, you can narrow it down. But when you split test, it tells you exactly which one's the better option for you to go with regard to your marketing. So on this Tactical Tuesday, I want to dive in and just show you real quickly a tool that you can use to do A/B split testing, or, taking two different options and testing them against one another. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a second and share another screen, which is a ClickFunnels landing page. Now, if you're not familiar with ClickFunnels, let me make this actually a little bit bigger here so you can actually see it. But it's kind of cut off, but you can see it's just a landing page, and this is just a test landing page where it's giving away a free ebook about divorce. So let's say, and you can see obviously from the, hold on one second, and let me make this a little bit different here. So you can see there, you can see from the language, hopefully you can see my cursor now, that on this language, obviously this is just filler language, but we have here a title. So we have a title here, and we also have a ebook that we're giving away with some bullet points, and someone clicks there to download the ebook. So this is just an example of what a landing page is. But let's say you're putting this together for your law firm, and maybe you have an image that you're debating on, the image of the ebook, or maybe you're debating whether to just put an image up or put a video there where you're explaining, what the download is, or maybe you have a question about the title and, the title that you want to use on the landing page. So all of these things potentially could be split tested, and I'm going to show you exactly how you would do that. So here we have inside of ClickFunnels, which is a software that you can use to create landing pages. And if you haven't seen our previous video, I'll put a link in here that you can go to that shows you how we used ClickFunnels to create a landing page in under 10 minutes on one of our live broadcasts. But Landing pages are, very simple web pages that you're using for a purpose to capture somebody's information, maybe their email, name, phone number, whatever information your law firm's going to use to contact them. But with ClickFunnels, you can see here we have this opt-in page, which is showing. And when I clicked this, that's the page that we just looked at, which previewed it. But if you look at this, you can see right here in the beginning, it says, or right here in the middle of the page, it says create variation. So if I click on that, it'll automatically ask me a question on, do I want to create a variation from one of the templates that we have, or do you want to do it just from this opt-in page? So we want to create a duplicate right from this opt-in. So it's basically going to duplicate this page over to another page. And then what you can do is once you have the duplicate created, so you can see now we have a control on the left, and then we have a variation on the right. Now, what we would do if we were going to actually use this as a split test, you would basically just click on this to go in and edit the page. And when you go in to edit that page, you can then change whatever element of the page that you're going to be testing. So if you wanted to, for example, change the title, you would basically just go into this editor as it's loading up right now, and you would go in and click on and change the title. Or if you wanted to test two different images against one another, you would click on that and do the image testing. Now, we're not going to do that. It's taking a little bit to load right now because obviously we're using the internet for the purpose of this live stream. But basically, you can see if you went in and created two different tests or two different versions, you would basically have the versions there, and you can tell it. You can use this bar right in the middle to say how much traffic. So obviously, if you're just starting out and you have no idea, you can send 50% of the traffic to one version and 50% to the other. And over time, it will tell you which one is getting more opt-ins, which one does your ideal client who you're marketing to, which one do they prefer? So you're not relying on your judgment, you're relying on the judgment of your target market, which obviously, just like with any business, when your market speaks, you need to listen to their point of view and adapt your marketing to what your ideal client is telling you. So that is a great way for you to use a tool like ClickFunnels to be able to test versions of pages. And you should always be testing in your marketing, always be looking at the data to see which versions are working, what conversions are, all the KPIs or different metrics that you're measuring. Always be looking at those things and let the data make the decisions for you. Don't go on your own judgment. Sometimes we get in our head as attorneys, we analyze too much. We want to go with what we think is right, but we need to be listening to our market and not just what our own personal beliefs tell us. So that's our live stream that we have for you today. I hope you will take some of this information and actually implement it. Use the tools. If you need a free trial for ClickFunnels, if that's something that you're interested in testing out, you can go to this video on YouTube and we'll put a link down below. And if you're also interested in a resource where you can really identify who your ideal client is, if this is the first time you're hearing that phrase and you want to be a little bit more clear and have a process to go through to identify your ideal client, you can go to this website down below, www.martdig.com/ideal client. And we have a resource that you can download. It's free, landing page that you'll see where you can enter your email, download this free resource, and work on identifying who your ideal client is. So when you're marketing to them, you can listen to what they have to say and implement what they like. So you'll have more clients coming into your law firm all the time. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to having you visit with us again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central, for Live at 5. I'm Richard Martindale with Martindale Digital, signing off for the day. Hope you have a blessed day. Thanks so much.